Liam had always been curious. Since he was a small boy, he loved taking things apart, studying how they worked, and trying to put them back together. Now, at 24, he lived in a small apartment cluttered with tools, gadgets, and strange objects he collected from flea markets, junkyards, and science fairs. Among all these things, his favorite discovery was a small, metal artifact unlike anything he had seen before. It was smooth and silver with faint glowing lines that pulsed gently like a heartbeat. Liam called it the strange stone, although it was clearly more than just a rock. He spent weeks trying to understand it. He had tried scanning it with computers, tapping into its energy with small experiments, and even speaking to it, joking that maybe it could hear him. Nothing seemed to happen until one quiet evening when Liam decided to push his luck. He set up a circle of small lights and mirrors around the artifact, hoping to see some reaction. He whispered to himself about energy flow and quantum resonance, words he barely understood but that sounded impressive. As he pressed a small button on his homemade device, the lines on the artifact started glowing brighter. The air in the room grew warmer. Liam's heart raced. Suddenly, a low hum filled the space, vibrating through his chest. He felt the hairs on his arms stand up. The artifact began to rise slightly above the table, floating like it had its own mind. Liam froze, unsure whether to be scared or amazed. A sudden flash of light exploded from the artifact. Liam had barely time to cover his eyes when the room was filled with brightness. When he looked again, his breath caught in his throat. Standing in the middle of his living room was a figure unlike any human he had ever seen. She was tall and glowing, with smooth, shining skin that reflected the light around her. Her eyes were deep and filled with a galaxy of colors that seemed to move as if they had a life of their own. Long silver hair floated gently around her, as if underwater. She looked both powerful and calm at the same time. Liam stumbled backward, almost tripping over a chair. His voice came out as a whisper, "Who are you?" The figure smiled softly, and her voice echoed in his mind rather than his ears. "I am Elora," she said. "I am, far from home. You have brought me here." Liam blinked. He felt like he had stepped into a dream, or maybe a science fiction story he had always wanted to live. "Be brought you here? I didn't mean to. I was just experimenting," he said. Elora tilted her head, studying him carefully. "Curiosity is your strength, human. It brought you to me. But now that I am here, I cannot leave until certain conditions are met." "What conditions? How do I send you back?" Liam asked, panic creeping into his voice. He looked around for his phone, but somehow it felt wrong to call anyone. This was beyond anything anyone would believe. Elora floated closer, her presence calming yet intense. "The key to my return is lost in your world. Until it is found, I must remain." Liam swallowed hard. He wanted to argue, but something in her eyes made him pause. They were not threatening. They were patient and curious, watching him as if studying a puzzle. He realized that he was dealing with something far beyond science, something extraordinary. "Okay, so you're staying," Liam said finally, trying to sound brave. His heart was still racing, and his mind was spinning. "I guess I will have to take care of you until we figure this out." Elora smiled again, and the room seemed to brighten slightly with her presence. "I do not require care as humans understand it, but your willingness is noted. You will learn much, and perhaps I will learn much as well." For a while, they stood quietly. Liam tried to process the impossibility of what had happened. He had summoned an alien goddess by accident, and now she was standing in his apartment. He felt both thrilled and terrified. As the evening passed, Liam discovered something else. Elora could interact with his gadgets. She waved a hand over a broken radio, and it powered on instantly, playing music he had not even connected. She touched his small lamp, and it shone brighter than any bulb he had ever used. Liam realized she could control energy, machines, and maybe even more than he could see. "Are you going to help me, or are you just here to float around?" he asked, a nervous laugh in his voice. "I can help if you wish it," Elora replied. "But there are limits. Your world is different from mine. I must learn your ways before intervening fully." Liam nodded. "Fair enough. I guess I'll start small." He brought out a notebook and began writing observations. He wanted to document everything about her, about the artifact, and about what had happened. This was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Hours passed. Liam and Elora began to talk in a way that felt natural, despite the strangeness of the situation. He asked questions about her world, her abilities, and her life among the stars. She asked questions about humans, emotions, and the small details of life on Earth. Liam found himself enjoying the conversation, forgetting for a moment how impossible it all was. At one point, Liam glanced at his reflection in a window. Elora's glow filled the room, and he realized that nothing in his life would ever be the same. She was not just a visitor. She was a force, a presence that would challenge him, teach him, and perhaps change the world around him. By the time midnight came, Liam was exhausted but exhilarated. He had not slept, eaten, or even moved much, but he could not stop thinking about the possibilities. Elora had promised to stay. The artifact had been activated. The adventure of a lifetime was only beginning, and Liam could feel it in every part of his being. As he finally sat down on the couch, he looked at Elora and said quietly, "I don't know how this will end, but I guess we're in this together now." Elora smiled, and her eyes seemed to hold a tiny flicker of amusement. "Yes, human. Together." And with that, the night stretched on, filled with possibilities, questions, and the beginning of a story that would change everything Liam had ever known about his world and about himself. The morning sunlight filtered through the blinds of Liam's small apartment. He rubbed his eyes, still half in disbelief that Elora, the alien goddess, was actually here. The night had been filled with strange energy and quiet conversation, but now the reality of her presence was overwhelming. She was standing near the table, her silver hair glowing faintly, watching Liam with curiosity. "Good morning," Liam said, trying to sound normal. He poured himself some coffee, though the hands that had trembled the night before now felt steadier. "I hope you slept well. Or, rested." Elora tilted her head. "Sleep is unnecessary for me, human. Resting is sometimes helpful to observe your world more clearly." Liam sipped his coffee nervously, thinking about the tasks ahead. He had no idea where to start. How do you live with a being that could control energy, manipulate machines, and probably change the world without effort? Yet, despite her power, there was a calmness in her presence that made him feel safe. "I need to figure out how you're going to stay here without causing problems," Liam said. "People will notice eventually. Friends, neighbors, maybe even the authorities." Elora's eyes flickered with light. "Your kind has curiosity and fear in equal measure. I will not harm anyone, and I will not hide unless necessary. Observation is the key." Liam nodded. He realized he would have to treat her like a roommate, though she was far from ordinary. "Okay. Then let's start simple. You can stay here for now. I'll figure out food, space, and all that. But you have to understand, this is still my life." "I understand, human," Elora said softly. "And I wish to learn. Your habits, your world, your choices. I will adapt as I can." The first days were strange but peaceful. Liam learned that Elora had a gentle way of interacting with the world. She did not touch things unnecessarily, yet when she did, even small movements could have noticeable effects. A broken lamp would shine brightly again. A malfunctioning fan spun smoothly once she waved her hand near it. Liam realized that living with her was like living with a friend and a miracle at the same time. He tried to introduce some routines, hoping to create a sense of normalcy. Breakfast together, checking the artifact, experimenting safely, and sometimes just talking about simple things like the weather, colors, or the sounds of city streets. Ilara's questions were sometimes strange, asking why humans laughed at some things or why they worried about time. Liam found himself explaining carefully, realizing he was seeing his own world through her eyes. One afternoon, Liam was struggling to fix his old laptop. It had been slow and unresponsive for weeks. He sighed, running his fingers through his hair. "I give up. This thing is useless." Ilara floated beside him, placing her hand gently over the device. The laptop hummed, lights blinking as if it had been born anew. Files opened instantly. Liam blinked in disbelief. You fixed it?" Ilara smiled faintly. "It is simple. Machines respond to energy and intention. You were frustrated, and that blocked its flow. I removed the obstruction." Liam laughed softly, shaking his head. "This is unbelievable. I can get used to this. Or maybe I should be scared." "You need not fear what does not wish to harm," Ilara said. Her voice was calm and sure. "Humans have strength in adaptability. I see it in you." Despite her kindness, Liam sometimes felt pressure. He was responsible for her presence. The thought of government agents, curious neighbors, or scientists discovering her was stressful. He realized he had to teach Ilara how to stay unnoticed, at least until he understood more about her abilities. Ilara observed humans carefully. She asked questions about emotions, choices, and relationships. Liam explained love, friendship, kindness, and conflict in ways that were simple yet meaningful. She listened without judgment, absorbing every detail. Sometimes, she would ask questions that made him think deeply about humanity. One evening, Liam realized he was not alone in this learning process. Ilara's observations were changing him too. He saw patterns in people he had ignored before. He noticed small acts of courage, teamwork, and generosity that often went unnoticed. Living with her made him reflect on the potential humans had, and he felt proud of his species in a way he never had before. Their routine also included small experiments with the artifact. Liam wanted to understand why it had summoned her. Ilara helped him explore safely, guiding him with energy manipulation and subtle hints. They discovered small effects, light pulses, energy resonance, and even faint images of distant stars. Each day, the artifact revealed more secrets, and Liam realized the adventure was only beginning. Despite all the learning, there were moments of humor and wonder. Ilara was fascinated by everyday human habits. She laughed quietly at cartoons, studied cooking with intense focus, and even tried painting with Liam. Her abilities made her art unusual but beautiful, filled with glowing colors and patterns that Liam had never seen before. He began to enjoy these small moments, realizing that life with her could be both exciting and peaceful. One afternoon, Liam took Ilara to the window to watch the city below. "Do you see this?" he asked. "All these people. Busy, worried, happy, sad, everything is happening at once." Ilara's eyes reflected the sunlight. "Your kind has immense energy. It is chaotic, yet there is purpose. I understand why you adapt and survive. I see potential in humans, more than I expected." Liam felt a swell of pride. "We can be amazing if we work together, I think. Maybe we just need the right guidance." Ilara nodded. "And guidance is possible when curiosity leads the way. You have shown me patience, observation, and intelligence. I am learning, as are you." By the end of the week, Liam realized something important. He was no longer just hosting an alien goddess. He had a companion who was teaching him about himself and his world. Ilara's presence challenged him to think beyond his limits, to see possibilities, and to act with care and creativity. Living with her was not easy, but it was rewarding in ways he had never imagined. That night, Liam sat on the couch, watching Elora float nearby. "I never expected this," he said quietly. "I thought life would be ordinary. Now it's incredible." Elora turned her head, her glowing eyes softening. "Incredible is what occurs when curiosity meets opportunity. You summoned me by accident, human. Yet perhaps this was the right accident." Liam smiled, feeling a strange mix of pride, awe, and excitement. He did not know what challenges awaited, but he knew one thing clearly. Life with Elora would never be ordinary again, and somehow, that thought made him feel alive in a way he had never felt before. And so, Liam and Elora settled into a new rhythm, a partnership filled with discovery, learning, and quiet wonder. The world outside continued, unaware of the goddess in his apartment, but inside, a story was beginning that would change everything for both of them. The days after Elora arrived passed in a strange combination of excitement and careful planning. Liam realized that hiding her forever was impossible. Neighbors were curious, friends occasionally called, and the world beyond his apartment moved on relentlessly. He knew sooner or later, someone would notice something unusual. The question was whether he could manage it safely. One morning, Liam decided it was time to test Elora in the outside world, in a small way. He wanted to see how people would react to her presence and how she could interact without creating chaos. He chose a quiet park nearby. Liam packed a small bag with water, snacks, and a notebook, and Elora followed silently, floating gracefully beside him. Her silver hair shimmered in the sunlight, and people passing by gave curious glances but did not approach too closely. "Do people normally stare like that?" Liam asked nervously. "Humans notice differences," Elora replied. "Some fear, some are curious. Both are natural responses. You do not need to worry." Liam led her to a bench under a tree. "Okay, we'll start simple. Stay calm, and don't show anything unusual unless you want to." Elora nodded. "Understood. Observation will be my guide." As they sat, a small child approached. She had messy hair and a bright smile. "Who are you?" the child asked, pointing at Elora. Elora smiled gently. "I am a visitor," she said. Her voice was soft but carried a strange echo that seemed to calm the child. The child laughed. "You look like a princess." "I suppose that is one way to describe it," Elora said lightly. Liam chuckled quietly. He had not expected this to go smoothly, but it seemed harmless so far. The child's parents came closer. They looked puzzled but not alarmed. Liam quickly explained, "She is a friend. We are just enjoying the day." The parents nodded slowly and moved on, still glancing curiously. Liam realized that Elora's presence could inspire wonder without fear if approached carefully. They walked through the park, birds sang in the trees, and the sunlight created patterns on the grass. Liam noticed Elora watching everything closely. She paused to touch a flower, and it seemed to glow slightly in her presence. Small changes happened around her, not harmful, just noticeable to someone paying attention. "You are careful," Liam said. "I think you are trying not to scare people." "I respect your world, human," Elora said. "I wish to observe without causing harm. Humans are interesting. They act on curiosity, fear, and kindness all at once." Liam smiled. He had never thought of humans that way, but seeing Elora's perspective made him think differently. Perhaps humans were more remarkable than he had realized. As they returned home, Liam realized he needed to plan for more encounters. If Elora stayed, they would eventually meet more people, maybe even scientists or journalists. He decided to teach her how to interact subtly, to hide the full extent of her abilities until the time was right. Elora learned quickly, mimicking human gestures, expressions, and even small humor. Liam felt a sense of pride in her ability to adapt, and a growing sense of partnership between them. One evening, Liam received a call from his friend Nora. She was excited and curious, asking if he wanted to meet at a nearby cafe. Liam hesitated, knowing that Elora could not be shown freely, but then he realized he could not avoid the world forever. "Come with me," he said to Elora. "I need to see how you handle humans outside the park. Just for a little while." Elora nodded. "I will observe and follow your guidance." At the cafe, the atmosphere was casual but lively. People chatted, sipped coffee, and worked on laptops. Liam led Elora to a corner table. She sat gracefully, keeping a calm presence. People nearby glanced at her but seemed unsure what to make of her unusual beauty and quiet demeanor. Liam watched as she noticed small details of Barista's nervous hands, the way sunlight reflected off a window, the expressions of people deep in conversation. She whispered questions to Liam about human behavior. Why do they frown when they are thinking? Why do they smile at small gestures? I guess it is how we show feelings, Liam explained. It helps us connect with each other. Elora nodded. Fascinating. Connection is important. Humans rely on it more than I realized. Suddenly, a waiter spilled a drink near their table. Liam started to panic, but Elora moved gently, and the spill stopped midair, hovering briefly before flowing harmlessly back into the cup. The waiter stared, blinking in confusion. Liam quickly muttered an apology, pretending it was a trick of the light. Careful, Liam whispered to Elora. That was close. People might notice if you do too much. I understand, Elora said softly. Observation requires patience. Influence is optional. By the end of the visit, Liam realized something important. Humans were not always as reckless as they seemed. Small interventions could prevent accidents and misunderstandings, and Elora could help in subtle ways. Her presence encouraged people to act better without even knowing why. When they returned home, Liam felt exhausted but excited. You handled that well, he said. I think we can do more, but slowly. We need to be careful and learn from every encounter. Elora smiled faintly. Humans are full of surprises. Every interaction teaches me something. You have shown me kindness, patience, and guidance. I am learning about your world in ways I did not expect. Liam realized he was learning too. Living with Elora had changed how he saw his own species. He noticed the small acts of courage, cooperation, and creativity that humans often ignored. He felt proud, inspired, and motivated to help others see the potential he now understood. That night, Liam sat at his desk, writing notes and ideas in his notebook. Elora floated nearby, watching quietly. He realized that the real adventure was not just understanding her, but understanding what humans could become with curiosity, courage, and care. Elora's presence was no longer just a mystery or a challenge. She was a teacher, a partner, and a reminder that the universe was full of possibilities. Liam felt a deep sense of purpose. Together, they would explore, learn, and perhaps show the world what humans could achieve. As he looked out the window at the city lights, Liam thought about the future. There would be challenges, curiosity from others, and moments of danger, but he also saw hope, potential, and a story that was just beginning. With Elora by his side, he felt ready to face whatever came next. And so, the world outside moved on, unaware of the goddess walking quietly among humans, while Liam prepared for the adventures that would change both of their lives forever. Liam had begun to feel comfortable with Elora in his apartment and during their careful outings. He thought he understood the rhythm of life with her, the balance between curiosity, learning, and safety. But he was about to discover that the universe was not as quiet as he had imagined. It started one evening when Liam was reviewing his notebook. He had been tracking Elora's interactions, the artifact's strange energy pulses, and their small experiments. A sudden sharp vibration ran through the air. Liam jumped, looking around the apartment. Elora's eyes glowed faintly with alertness. "What is it?" Liam asked, his voice tense. Elora focused on the window. "A presence approaches. It is not of your world." Before Liam could respond, a strange hum filled the air. The lights flickered, and a shadow passed across the room. Liam felt a cold shiver run down his spine. Outside, he glimpsed a small craft hovering above the street. It was sleek, dark, and unlike any human technology. Panic rose in his chest. "They are here," Elora said calmly. "They seek me." Liam's mind raced. "Who? What do they want?" "They are not friendly," Elora replied. "They are hunters from a distant galaxy. They know of my presence and intend to capture me. We must act quickly." Liam's apartment suddenly felt too small, too vulnerable. He realized that keeping Elora safe was no longer a matter of hiding from curious neighbors. This was serious. He had to think fast. Elora raised her hands, and a soft glow filled the room. The lights on the craft outside seemed to flicker as if confused. Liam watched, amazed, as Elora's presence interfered with their technology. She could protect them, but she did not want to destroy unnecessarily. "Can they get inside?" Liam asked, his heart pounding. "They can attempt, but they are limited by your atmosphere and my protection," Elora said. "We should leave. Your building is exposed. I will guide us to a safer location." Liam nodded. He grabbed a small backpack with essentials, while Elora floated beside him. Together, they moved through the back stairwell, careful not to be seen. The hum of the alien craft followed them, a constant reminder of the danger outside. They reached a small alley behind the building. Liam could see the city streets bathed in the glow of the craft's lights. It moved smoothly, scanning, searching. Elora touched his shoulder lightly. "Trust me," she said. "We will not be taken." With a gentle motion, she sent a pulse of energy that created a shimmering shield around them. Liam felt the air vibrate, and suddenly the craft seemed to hesitate, unable to penetrate the barrier. Liam stared in awe. Elora was powerful, far more than he had imagined, yet she used her strength with care. "Where are we going?" he asked. "To a place where humans do not notice," Elora said. "A place where we can observe and plan." They moved quickly through narrow streets, the city around them oblivious to the danger. Elora guided them to an abandoned warehouse on the edge of town. Inside, it was dark and empty, but Elora made it safe. She created a soft glow that illuminated the space without attracting attention. Liam set his backpack down, catching his breath. "This is amazing. I never thought I'd be running from aliens in my own city." Elora smiled faintly. "The universe is vast, human. Danger is inevitable when one possesses knowledge or power. You are learning courage, adaptability, and strategy. All of these are strengths of your kind." Liam felt a surge of pride mixed with fear. He had always believed humans were clever and resilient, but seeing Elora in action made him realize how far beyond ordinary he could be pushed. He understood that humans could survive and even thrive when guided by intelligence and determination. For the next few hours, they observed the craft from the warehouse. Elora taught Liam how to sense energy patterns, detect electronic signals, and understand alien behavior. They discovered that the hunters were not acting randomly, they were intelligent, organized, and persistent. Liam realized that this was more than a simple threat. They had to prepare carefully. "You are learning quickly," Elora said. "Your mind adapts. You see patterns humans often ignore. That is why you survive challenges." Liam smiled faintly. "I guess I have a good teacher." Elora's glow dimmed slightly. "And I learn from your resilience, your creativity, and your curiosity. Humans are capable of much more than they realize." This is why I remain with you. As night fell, Liam began planning. They needed to move the artifact, secure their technology, and prepare for the possibility of another encounter. Elora helped him create small barriers, shields, and safe zones. Liam realized that humans, when united and focused, could be clever and resourceful. Elora's guidance enhanced these abilities, creating a powerful combination of skill and insight. Hours passed, and Liam felt a strange mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. The danger outside was real, yet he was learning more about himself, his species, and the universe than he had ever imagined. Elora's presence was challenging, inspiring, and strangely comforting. Eventually, the hum of the alien craft faded. Liam peeked outside and saw it moving away, as if discouraged or unable to continue. He let out a breath he had not realized he was holding. "You see, human," Elora said softly. "Threats exist, but courage, intelligence, and careful action protect life. You have learned quickly." "I guess I did," Liam said, smiling despite the fear. "And you've been amazing. I don't think I could have done any of this without you." Elora's eyes softened. "And I could not have adapted so quickly without your guidance. This partnership strengthens us both. Your species has potential far beyond what you often acknowledge." Liam realized that this experience, though dangerous, had opened his eyes. Humans were clever, adaptable, and capable of growth. With Elora by his side, he understood that even the greatest challenges could be faced with determination, strategy, and cooperation. That night, as Liam slept lightly on the floor of the warehouse, he felt a sense of purpose he had never known. He was not just a witness to an alien presence. He was part of a story that could change his world, test his limits, and reveal the strength of humanity. Elora floated nearby, her glow soft and steady. She watched him with interest and a quiet admiration. The night was calm, but Liam knew that the universe was vast, full of surprises, and that danger might return at any moment. Yet he also knew that humans, when guided and united, could face incredible challenges and emerge stronger. And in that quiet warehouse, with the hum of distant city life outside and the presence of a goddess beside him, Liam felt ready to embrace whatever came next. The adventure had only begun, and he knew that together, he and Elora would face whatever the universe sent with courage, intelligence, and heart. After the encounter with the alien hunters, life for Liam and Elora had changed. The quiet days of observation and experiments were over. Liam realized that living with a goddess was no longer just about curiosity, it was about strategy, learning, and preparation. Yet, even with the danger outside, a new and deeper connection was forming between them. The morning light fell softly through the dusty windows of the warehouse. Liam was cleaning and organizing supplies, while Elora floated nearby, her silver hair glowing faintly in the sun. She had a notebook of her own, where she recorded observations about human behavior. Liam watched her, fascinated. She was not just powerful, she was curious, patient, and thoughtful. "You learn quickly," Liam said, pouring water into 2 small cups. "You notice things most people miss." Elora tilted her head. "Observation is key. But you, human, also teach me patience, humor, and the small patterns of your world. I am learning from you as much as you learn from me." Liam smiled, realizing that this was true. Living with her had changed how he saw everything. He noticed details in people's behavior, small acts of kindness, and even subtle ways humans solved problems. Elora's perspective helped him appreciate the strengths of his own species. That day, Liam decided to take Elora to a small community center in the city. It was a place where children came after school to learn science, art, and music. He thought it would be safe, a way for Elora to interact with humans in a controlled environment. As they entered, the children paused, staring at Elora. Their curiosity was natural, and Elora responded with a gentle smile. She did not move abruptly or show her full power. Instead, she observed quietly, letting the children approach at their own pace. "Hello," she said softly. "I am Elora. I come from far away. I wish to learn about your world." The children, surprised but not frightened, gathered around. Liam noticed how her calm presence made them comfortable. Even the most shy child seemed curious instead of scared. Elora asked them questions about their favorite colors, games, and hobbies. She laughed softly when a boy described a drawing that seemed impossible to make. "You have imagination," she said. "It is a powerful gift." Liam realized that Elora was teaching the children more than science or observation. She was showing them curiosity, patience, and wonder. In turn, he felt inspired by how humans could be brave and creative when encouraged. After their visit, they returned to the warehouse. Liam was tired but happy. "That went well," he said. "You didn't scare anyone, and they actually seemed to enjoy your presence." Elora's eyes glowed softly. "I learn quickly, human. And your kind demonstrates courage and openness. I understand why you survive challenges. You inspire me as well." Over the next few days, Liam and Elora focused on learning from each other. Liam taught her about human emotions, art, music, and small technologies. He explained why people laughed, why they worried, and how they celebrated simple moments. Elora listened carefully, asking questions that made him think deeply about his own world. In return, Elora shared knowledge about the stars, energy manipulation, and distant galaxies. She explained the ways her people traveled, communicated, and observed life across countless worlds. Liam realized that even with all his knowledge, there was so much about the universe he had never imagined. One evening, Liam asked, "Do you ever feel lonely out there, in your world?" Elora paused, her gaze distant. "Loneliness is a concept I understand but rarely experience. My people are vast and connected, yet each being is isolated in awareness. Your presence, human, is comforting. It shows me connection in a new way." Liam felt a warm feeling inside. He had never thought a goddess could need companionship, yet it seemed she did. And in a strange way, he realized that humans were not so different. Connection, trust, and understanding were what made life meaningful. Their bond grew stronger through small adventures. They experimented with the artifact, discovering new energy patterns and hidden abilities. Liam was amazed by how Elora could manipulate energy subtly, shaping light, moving small objects, and even creating gentle shields. She was careful, always considering the consequences of her actions. "You are powerful," Liam said one night as they worked on a new experiment. "But you always think before using it. That's inspiring." Elora looked at him with glowing eyes. "Power without understanding is dangerous. Humans survive because they combine intellect with emotion. You demonstrate balance. That is why I remain by your side." They also spent quiet moments observing the city. From high rooftops, Elora watched the flow of life, noticing patterns and routines. Liam explained why humans acted as they did, from traffic jams to laughter in cafes. She absorbed everything, asking questions that often revealed more about human nature than he had realized himself. One day, while Liam was repairing a small drone, Elora floated nearby. She reached out her hand, and the drone lifted effortlessly, hovering and spinning in the air. Liam laughed. "You make it look so easy. I've been working on that for weeks." "It responds to energy and intention," Elora said. "You have frustration. That blocks flow. Calm observation enhances results. You have much to teach yourself, human." Liam nodded, realizing she was right. Her presence was more than guidance, it was a reflection of his own potential. Humans could achieve greatness, he understood now, if they combined curiosity, care, and intelligence. As the week ended, Liam felt a sense of accomplishment. He and Elora had grown not just as companions but as partners in learning. Humans and the alien goddess together were discovering the strengths of each other's worlds. He felt proud of his species, inspired by their resilience, creativity, and adaptability. Elora floated beside him one night, her glow soft and calming. You understand more than you realize, human. You see potential in yourself and others. That is why you thrive. Liam smiled. And you've taught me to look beyond what I see, to imagine more, and to act with care. I never thought I'd have a teacher like you. And I never thought I would have a companion like you, Elora replied. Together, we learn. Together, we grow. As Liam looked at her, he realized that the bond they shared was more than knowledge or curiosity. It was trust, respect, and understanding. The world outside might be unaware of the goddess walking among humans, but inside their warehouse, a story of discovery, courage, and hope was unfolding. For the first time, Liam truly believed in the potential of humans. With guidance, curiosity, and courage, they could achieve extraordinary things. And with Elora at his side, he felt ready to face whatever challenges awaited, confident that together, they could overcome anything. The days grew more intense for Liam and Elora. The alien hunters had retreated for now, but the threat of discovery and danger was always in the back of their minds. Liam had realized that hiding was no longer enough. If Elora was to return to her galaxy safely, they needed a plan. The first step was finding the key, a device hidden somewhere on Earth that could open a portal to her world. Elora floated beside him as he studied old maps, satellites, and strange energy signals. The key is not easy to locate, she said softly. It is hidden where humans rarely look, yet it must interact with your technology to be activated. Liam nodded, feeling the weight of the task. So we are looking for a needle in a haystack. Somewhere in orbit, or on the ground, right? Possibly in orbit, Elora said. Its energy signature is faint, but detectable. We must be precise and careful. They spent days analyzing satellite data. Liam used his small home systems, while Elora enhanced the calculations with her alien abilities. Slowly, a pattern emerged. A faint signal, irregular but strong enough to indicate the key's presence, hovered near an old communications satellite. Liam stared at the screen. That's it, he said, disbelief in his voice. It's up there. In space. Elora's eyes glowed with anticipation. Then we must retrieve it. It is the only way I can return home. Liam swallowed hard. Space. I've never been there. How do we even start? Elora smiled faintly. You have resourcefulness, courage, and quick thinking. That is enough for humans when combined with guidance. I will lead you. They began preparations. Liam scavenged parts from old rockets, drones, and satellites. Elora helped him calculate trajectories, energy flows, and the safest way to reach orbit. Their nights were long and exhausting, but the partnership between human and goddess grew stronger with every step. Finally, the day came. Liam and Elora stood inside a small launch capsule they had assembled, suspended in a hidden launch area. Liam's hands trembled as he checked the controls, while Elora floated calmly, her glow soft and steady. Are you ready? She asked. As ready as I'll ever be, Liam said. I just hope I don't break anything. Elora placed a hand lightly on his shoulder. Trust yourself. Curiosity and courage will guide you. And I will be with you every step. The capsule launched, shaking and vibrating. Liam gripped the controls, focusing on the calculations. Outside, the sky changed from blue to dark, dotted with stars. The earth fell away beneath them. Liam's heart pounded with fear and excitement. Elora guided the energy around them, creating a protective shield that prevented minor debris from damaging the capsule. Liam marveled at her control. He had never seen power used with such precision. Hours passed as they navigated through space. The faint signal of the key grew stronger. Finally, they reached the satellite. Liam carefully positioned the capsule near it. "There it is," he whispered. The key floated inside a protective casing, pulsing faintly with energy. "Focus," Elora said. "We must retrieve it carefully. It is sensitive to energy disturbances." Liam reached out with robotic arms from the capsule, guided by Elora's subtle movements. The key responded to her presence, lifting slightly as if recognizing her. Liam held his breath, adjusting the grip slowly. Suddenly, a small group of alien scouts appeared, attracted by the key's energy. They moved quickly, sleek and dangerous. Liam panicked for a moment, but Elora's calm presence steadied him. "Do not panic," she said. "Use your mind, your strategy. We can overcome them." With a subtle gesture, Elora manipulated energy, creating barriers that slowed the scouts. Liam used the capsule's small tools to maneuver around them. Together, they moved with precision, intelligence, and courage. Each action was careful, deliberate, and perfectly timed. Finally, Liam grasped the key fully. Its energy pulsed through his hands, warm and vibrant. Elora smiled faintly. "You have done it. The key is ours." Liam exhaled, relief flooding him. "I can't believe it. We actually did it." "Humans are capable of more than they realize," Elora said. "With curiosity, courage, and guidance, you accomplish what seems impossible." The scouts retreated, unable to match their strategy and precision. Liam and Elora navigated back toward Earth carefully, the key secured. The journey was tense but successful. Liam marveled at what they had achieved together. Back in the warehouse, Liam set the key on a small table. Elora hovered above it, her glow bright. "This is the moment of truth," she said softly. "With this, I can return home." Liam felt a strange mixture of pride and sadness. "I know. You've been amazing, Elora. I've learned so much from you, and I hope we can see each other again someday." Elora's eyes glimmered. "And I have learned from you, human. Your world, your courage, your kindness, all of it inspires me. I will not forget you." Liam reached out and touched the key lightly. Its energy hummed beneath his fingers. Elora extended her hand, and the key floated into her palm. Light filled the room, bright and warm. "Thank you, human," she said. "For courage, guidance, and partnership. This is not the end of what we have learned together." Liam smiled, trying to hold back emotion. "I know. And I'll keep learning too. I'll make my world better. You've shown me how." Elora's glow intensified. "Then we are both ready. I will return, but your world will always be part of my journey." As the light grew stronger, Liam felt a gentle pull. The key began to resonate, opening a shimmering portal. He stepped back, feeling awe and pride. The portal was the bridge to Elora's galaxy, the culmination of their journey together. "You are ready," Elora said. "And so am I." With one final look at Liam, Elora stepped into the portal, her glow merging with the key's energy. The portal shimmered and then closed, leaving Liam alone in the warehouse. He exhaled deeply, a mixture of relief, sadness, and hope filling his chest. Though she had left, Liam knew their partnership had changed him forever. He had learned courage, curiosity, and the potential of humans when guided and inspired. And somewhere, across galaxies, Elora carried the lessons of Earth and of him with her. Liam looked at the small glow that remained from the key on the table. It was a reminder, a gift, and a promise. Humans could achieve extraordinary things, and he was ready to continue exploring, learning, and growing. The adventure had reached a turning point, but the story was far from over. Liam knew the universe was vast, full of mysteries, challenges, and wonders. And he knew that, guided by curiosity, courage, and hope, humans could face anything, rise above every challenge, and reach heights they had never imagined. And in that quiet warehouse, with stars above and possibilities before him, Liam felt the first stirrings of a new journey. A journey not alone, but with the lessons and inspiration of a goddess who had trusted him, guided him, and shared her world with him. The warehouse was quiet now. Liam stood in the center of the room, staring at the small glow left by the key. The adventure with Elora had reached its peak, yet he felt a strange mix of emptiness and pride. The alien goddess had returned to her galaxy, but her presence lingered in his thoughts, in the lessons she had taught, and in the hope she had inspired. Liam took a deep breath. He remembered the first night she had appeared in his apartment, floating gently, eyes full of stars. He had been frightened, confused, and curious all at once. Now, after days of adventures, experiments, and dangers, he understood that life had changed forever. Elora had shown him the extraordinary potential of humanity, and he carried that lesson in every part of his being. The city outside continued as if nothing had happened. People walked, cars moved, and lights flickered. But Liam saw the world differently now. He noticed small acts of courage, kindness, and creativity. Humans were capable of so much when they combined intelligence, curiosity, and heart. Elora had helped him see it, and he felt a responsibility to share it. He walked to his desk and opened his notebook. He began writing everything he had learned from Elora. Her observations, his experiments, the events with the alien hunters, and the retrieval of the key. Each word reminded him of the courage, curiosity, and partnership that had defined their time together. He wanted to preserve it, not just for himself, but for the world. As Liam wrote, he felt a warmth in the room. He looked up and saw a faint shimmer near the window. The air vibrated gently, and for a moment, he thought he saw Elora's form. She was smiling, glowing softly, a presence that filled the room with calm and inspiration. "You have grown," she said softly, her voice echoing in his mind. "You have learned courage, patience, and insight. You understand potential and responsibility. I am proud of you, human." Liam's chest tightened. "Thank you, Elora. I I hope I can live up to what you taught me. I want to help people see what they can do, the strength they have." "You will," Elora replied. "Humans are remarkable. Your curiosity, determination, and creativity are unmatched when guided. You have inspired me as much as I have inspired you. That is why this connection matters." The shimmer faded, leaving Liam alone with his thoughts. Yet her words stayed with him, a quiet promise that their bond was not broken, even across galaxies. He realized that life was not only about challenges or dangers but about growth, understanding, and the courage to embrace the unknown. The next days passed in a mixture of reflection and action. Liam began small projects inspired by Elora's teachings. He repaired old machines, helped neighbors with technical problems, and shared knowledge with friends. His confidence grew, and he noticed that people responded positively. Curiosity sparked curiosity. Intelligence inspired intelligence. Kindness spread quietly, unnoticed but powerful. One evening, Liam looked at the night sky. The stars were bright and infinite. He thought of Elora traveling among them, carrying the lessons of Earth and of humanity. He felt proud, knowing that she would share the story of humans with her people, that the courage, intelligence, and creativity he had learned to see would be known across galaxies. He understood that humans were not just ordinary beings. They had the potential to achieve extraordinary things. With curiosity, courage, and the willingness to learn, they could face challenges, explore the unknown, and create wonders that even the stars could admire. Liam returned to the warehouse, where the key still glimmered faintly. He touched it lightly, feeling the energy that had once connected him to Elora so directly. It was a reminder of everything they had shared: the adventures, the experiments, the dangers, and the growth. It was a symbol of trust, partnership, and the limitless possibilities of humans. "I will not forget this," Liam whispered. "I will keep learning, keep growing, and keep helping others see what we can do." Weeks passed, and life slowly returned to a quiet rhythm. Liam continued his experiments, explored small adventures, and shared knowledge with those around him. Yet the memory of Elora never faded. Her presence had changed him, and he felt her influence in every decision, every discovery, and every act of courage he witnessed in others. One night, as he gazed at the stars again, Liam felt a quiet joy. The universe was vast, full of mysteries and wonders. Challenges would come, new adventures would unfold, and humanity's potential would continue to grow. He felt ready for anything because he understood that courage, intelligence, and curiosity were powerful tools. And he carried Elora's teachings with him, a silent guide that would always inspire him. The world outside continued unaware, but Liam saw it clearly. Humans were remarkable. Every person had the capacity for brilliance, bravery, and kindness. He felt a responsibility to nurture that potential, to help others discover their strengths and face challenges with courage. Elora's influence had not ended with her departure. She had opened a door for Liam and, through him, for the people around him. Her presence, though distant, was a reminder that humans could rise to extraordinary heights. They could achieve the impossible when guided by curiosity, care, and determination. Liam smiled, a quiet sense of peace filling him. The galaxy was vast, Elora was far away, and life was uncertain. Yet he felt ready. He had learned that humans could thrive in ways that mattered, and he had seen firsthand the extraordinary potential of his species. As he closed his notebook and looked at the faint glow of the key one last time, Liam whispered, "Thank you, Elora. For everything. I will continue, and I will make our world a place that deserves your trust and admiration." The night passed peacefully. Liam slept lightly, dreaming of stars, possibilities, and new adventures. Somewhere in the vast galaxy, Elora watched and smiled, proud of the human she had trusted and inspired. And in that quiet moment, the story of Liam and Elora came to a close, not as an ending, but as a beginning. A beginning for a human who had seen the potential of his species, who had learned courage, curiosity, and responsibility, and who would carry that lesson forward for the rest of his life. The universe waited. And humans were ready.